Tonight, a local school district will soon become the first in the county to offer full-day pre-K for 3-year-olds. If you've been feeling burnt out at work, we have some tips for you in tonight's Adulting Hacks. Plus, rain chances in the forecast could help bring some cooler weather. Meteorologist Sarah Spivey is here in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us for KSAT News at 9. I'm Myra Arthur. Now, normally we bring you this show from our set right in the middle of the KSAT 12 newsroom. But that set is getting a facelift right now. So while we're going through those upgrades, we'll bring the show to you from right here, the KSAT 12 rooftop. Let's get started. First up tonight, a program that aims to impact San Antonio area families in a positive way. Judson ISD just announced that it will soon offer full-day pre-K for 3-year-olds at all of its elementary campuses. Our Tiffany Huertas explains how this is supposed to benefit a child's education, but also fill a need for parents who might not be able to afford daycare.
Some kids get to kindergarten and they're way behind their other peers.
Katie McClellan has been thinking about her 2-year-old daughter's education.
We've actually been kind of thinking about trying to see what kind of programs are out there for 3-year-olds just to give her a little bit more balance.
After finding out her school district will soon offer pre-K for 3-year-olds, Katie couldn't be happier. She understands how tough it can be for other families who don't have this option.
I have friends with kids in daycare and it's insane how expensive it's gotten.
Judson ISD's new pre-K 3 program will be offered at all of the 20 elementary campuses next year.
Many of our parents were asking for a full-day pre-K. When we started the full-day pre-K for 4-year-olds, they were also inquiring about the 3-year-old pre-K.
The district says one of the advantages for parents is they won't have to break away from work to pick up their kids because it will be a full day of classes instead of half day.
We have a curriculum that'll keep them engaged, where they're engaged in creative play, they're engaged in learning. It's going to develop their social and emotional needs, as well as having learned their basics in alphabet and in numbers.
Currently, the district offers pre-K for 4-year-olds with 1,100 students enrolled. There are state guidelines to be eligible for free pre-K.
Some of those guidelines are if the student is limited English proficient. Another way they can qualify is if their parent is an active military member. There's a variety of ways for them to qualify.
Another factor includes income. For those who don't qualify this way, they can still enroll, but it will cost $450 a month. The district says expanding its pre-K program will help ensure kids don't fall behind on their education.
We truly understand the value of helping our children learn, get an early start to learning. We want to ensure that they are pre-K ready. We want to be able to close any gaps for children early on.
The district says it will also offer after-school care for 3-year-olds. Pre-K 3 registration will take place April 20th and 27th at all Judson ISD elementary campuses. For the 9, Tiffany Huertas.
Well, once again, it was a warm day across San Antonio. The high temperature was 75 degrees, 11 degrees above average. In fact, this entire month of January, we have not seen a freeze, and if we go throughout the end of the month without seeing freeze, which I think we will, it'll be the first time since 1939 that we did that in the month of January. But we are expecting a cool down pretty soon here, especially by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It'll be much cooler than the last couple of days. There is a disturbance off to the east that's going to allow for a few showers and storms tonight. A broken line of storms will develop in the hill country shortly after midnight, working its way to San Antonio between about 3 to 6 o'clock in the morning. That's when we'll see that broken line of showers and storms. We're not expecting much in the way of rain, but if you do catch one of those heavier downpours, you could see anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rainfall. Again, not everybody is going to get rain, and the good news is that line of showers and storms will move well to the east by the time we have the morning commute tomorrow. So we shouldn't have to worry about any extra complications on the roads other than traffic early in the morning. So here's a look at your Tuesday. At 7 o'clock, rain will be moving east, so really only some cloud cover, clearing skies quickly on Tuesday. Tomorrow we'll be able to see plenty of sunshine, 70 degrees for the high. And then in the evening, that's when that colder air arrives. Temperatures will quickly fall into the low 50s and even up into the upper 40s by midnight. We'll have winds switch around from the west to the northwest at 10 to 20, gusting up to 25 miles per hour in the evening. And then it'll take a second for that cooler air to get to us. By Wednesday, our high will only be right around 60. And then look at Thursday and Friday. Highs will struggle to get out of the 40s on Thursday with the potential for some rain as well. Scattered showers on Thursday. Mornings will be on the chilly side in the 30s, and then we'll clear out by the weekend, so at least we'll be able to salvage a pretty nice weekend.
An American military plane crashes in Afghanistan. A local man learns his fate after pleading guilty to murder. And investigators now on the scene of that helicopter crash that killed NBA legend Kobe Bryant and 8 others. Here's tonight's 9 at 9. Investigators are trying to figure out what happened after a U.S. military aircraft crashed in Afghanistan. A spokesperson for U.S. forces in Afghanistan says there are no indications that the crash was caused by enemy fire. Here at home,
last fall, just as his capital murder trial was to begin, Rudy Smith pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of murder.
Smith was sentenced to life in prison today for the murder of Ruben Sanchez. That's not enough, according to Sanchez's father, who testified today.
I would like to see him get the high part, the death penalty.
As the world mourns the tragic death of NBA legend Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others, federal investigators are trying to figure out what went wrong. Agents with the National Transportation Safety Board are on the ground in Calabasas, California, where Bryant's helicopter crashed.
Visibility 2.5 miles with haze, ceiling 1,100 overcast, temperature 122.8.
Fog was so heavy that Los Angeles police grounded their helicopters. Aviation experts say that fog may have caused the pilot to become disoriented, causing that crash.
12 bullet holes, 2 men injured, and the suspects nowhere to be found. It's how San Antonio police described the scene of a shooting at the Autumn Brook Apartments on West Avenue last night.
1 man was shot in the face, the other shot in the back. At last check, no arrests had been made. The victims told police they aren't sure why they were targeted. In Iran, a passenger plane makes an unbelievable landing, sliding off the runway and onto a highway. Video shows the Caspian Airlines plane lying flat on its belly. That's because the wheels were still retracted during the landing. All 135 passengers made it off that plane safely without any injuries. Senators are facing growing pressure to summon former National Security Advisor John Bolton to testify at the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump. These calls have been prompted by a New York Times report that Bolton's book manuscript includes allegations that the president called for the delay in military aid to Ukraine until it launched investigations into the Bidens.
The senators should not turn away from this very relevant evidence.
The Senate is set to debate whether to subpoena witnesses later this month. A tense helicopter rescue unfolds on a California cliffside. Crews were alerted that a pair of hikers had fallen from a trail. They arrived to find a woman clinging to cliffside tree roots. As rescuers were lowered in, the woman fell further. Thankfully, she was caught and brought to safety. Both hikers suffered only minor injuries. At-home DNA testing company 23andMe is cutting 100 jobs. That's about 14% of its workforce. This comes amid decreased consumer demand for genetic testing services. The Florida Everglades has substantially fewer snakes right now, thanks to what's known as the Python Bowl. That's an annual effort to curb the species' impact on native wildlife. 750 people participated and caught roughly 80 pythons. Not everyone's on board with the effort, though. PETA calls the event grotesque. To read more about these 9 stories, go to KSAT.com. Let's turn now to some of the biggest stories people are talking about tonight. The Supreme Court will allow a Trump administration rule that would make it easier to deny immigrants residency in the U.S. based on their use of public benefits. This rule could be used to deny green cards to immigrants if they have used or might use Medicaid, food stamps, or housing vouchers, for example, sometime in the future. Even though these new rules are now allowed, they will likely still be facing legal challenges. A new study suggests that Parkinson's disease may actually develop even before birth. This research looked at what's called young onset Parkinson's. That's when the disease shows up in people before the age of 50. The study found that in these cases, people may have been born with disordered brain cells that went undetected for decades. We're just a month into the new year, but if your job has you feeling an exhaustion that you just can't seem to shake, you might be more than just a little bit behind on sleep. In tonight's Adulting Hack, RJ Marquez breaks down some signs that you are burnt out at work and how you can get that feeling under control.
Last year, the World Health Organization officially recognized work-related burnout as an occupational phenomenon. It's defined as being overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant work demands. Before we get to some tips, here are some warning signs that you're burnt out at work. First, setting the alarm too early so you can hit the snooze button several times. Hitting the snooze button may not seem like a big deal, but it's not a good sign if you're so tired that it takes multiple tries to get out of bed. It can also leave you feeling frantic and rushed once you do. Next, being depleted after work. If you lack the energy to do things like work out, cook dinner, or spend time with your family, that's not good. How about not spending time with coworkers? Burnout employees tend to avoid company events or get-togethers because they have lost interest in building their network. Fantasizing about quitting is also a warning sign. It's okay to move to another job for a better salary or a promotion, but just wanting to get up and leave every day is another story. So how can you avoid this? Here are some tips. Analyze your job and get rid of unnecessary work. This can help you focus and make sure you are working with a purpose. Be self-aware and realize it's okay to take a break. When you are away from work, make sure to set boundaries to have time for yourself and your family. Also commit to answering work calls or emails only during the workday or shift. Wait to answer emails once you get back to work. Of course, eating right and getting the proper sleep will also help. Don't be afraid to reach out to a professional therapist if you need more help. For The 9, RJ Marquez.
Adulting Hacks is just one of the series that we feature here on the News at 9. Take a look at some of the others that we have. Tune in tomorrow for some financial advice in our consumer series we call Money It's Personal. All right, so we're back indoors for this next segment in the normal KSAT studio with Ivan Herrera to talk about what is trending today on KSAT.com.
Myra, thank you for having me today. All right, so Valentine's Day is coming up, so I'm going to tell you about a few of the things happening. First one up, the San Antonio Zoo is going to have a promotion. It's called Wild at Heart. So this one's pretty cool. So it has a 4-course meal, wine, and you get a front row seat to the Africa Live event, which sounds really cool.
So you're enjoying a meal, wine with dinner, watching elephants at the same time.
Elephants, giraffes, all that, Africa.
That's pretty cool.
Exactly, yeah. So they're going to have 2 events. One's going to be at 5:30, one's going to be at 7:30. So if you can't make it to one, you can make it to the other. So the price is a little bit high, but you know what? It's worth it for this event. So standard seating is $90 per person.
Woo,
they did have a VIP one. It's kind of sold out already. So this is a very hot event. You want to go to this if you're going to be doing something for Valentine's Day. This is one to watch out for.
Links to check out how to sign up, all that stuff on our website.
And you have to be 21 years or older if you're going to go to this event. So check it out on KSAT.com. All right, next up, this is the San Antonio restaurants offering specials, discounts, and on Valentine's Day today.
Oh.
Or not today, actually.
We got you covered if you're hungry on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, exactly. So from lobster tails to tomahawk steaks, all of this is included in this page. So I'm going to tell you about a few of them. So make sure to get a reservation because Valentine's Day is crazy.
Reservations early.
Exactly. Recommended for sure. So I'm going to tell you about a few of them. Boudreaux's is going to be offering a special menu for $50 per person. So that's not too bad. Maggiano's Little Italy, they're going to be having their That's Amore meal, which sounds really good. So that includes an appetizer, 2 entrees, drinks, and of course a dessert for $80, which is not too bad for 2 people. And then Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, they're going to have a porterhouse dinner for $129 is what it starts at. So it's a little pricey, but it sounds really good. I've heard a lot of good things about all these restaurants. I had to put them in there.
So I'm sure plenty more to check out in this article
More
on our website.
KSAT.com. There's tons and tons of offers on there.
Cool.
So last one I'm going to tell you about is something I love, which is tacos. So
Don't we all?
Exactly. So this is a major taco festival that's coming here to San Antonio. It's called Taco Fest Music y Mas. And they're going to have 40 vendors out there. 40 vendors all selling tacos, and they're going to be competing for which is the best taco. Yes.
Okay, so they have judges already lined up. Anyone looking for volunteers?
I'd like to be one of those. So this is a family-friendly event. It's going to be in downtown San Antonio. They're moving it this year. It's actually going to be at the UTSA downtown campus.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be happening April 4th from noon to 11 p.m. And tickets start at $15 a piece, so it's not too bad. And they do have every vendor is going to have a $2 taco option at least, so you can at least get one taco for $2 anywhere with any of the vendors.
This sounds like
it sounds like a lot of fun stuff. So they're going to also have music and a lot of fun. So check it out. We have all that on the website right now, KSAT.com.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Very cool. Thanks, Ivan.
That is all our time on KSAT News at 9. Thanks so much for being with us, and thanks for sticking with us here on the rooftop as we work to bring you a brand new set in the coming days. I'm Myra Arthur. Have a great night.